Here's how to have an offer so good you can charge $10,000 for and nobody's gonna bat an eye. But before I show you how I teach all this to my clients, I need to do a disclaimer. I can't believe I'm doing a disclaimer on this. Even if I show you this, there's one thing you have to do before you can even try all of this and charge 10K and have a good coaching offer. Before you click away of this video, because what I'm gonna say sounds so stupid, it's you actually have to be so good at what you do that charging 10K is normal for you and you can do it over and over and over and over again. Because yes, anyone can create an offer, anyone can watch videos and read books and they can just whip an offer out of nowhere and just charge 10K. But then over time, people are going to realize that you're a fraud and that you're going to be called out on Reddit and Twitter and everywhere. And one thing you can't fix, and one thing this video can't fix, is your reputation. So yes, anyone can charge whatever they want. But if you want to ethically charge 10K and the value that you give your clients is so good, people will do it over and over again, this is the video that you have to watch. This is how I teach my clients. So essentially, the first thing that you have to do is the promise that you're giving people in your content, the promise that you're giving everywhere. And in this promise, essentially what you're giving is the result that people so much want. And then there's 3 pillars that you are going to use in order to drive that result. These are your vehicles. These are what people call nowadays your mechanism. And as you can tell, there's another arrow up here, and I'll tell you what that is in just a second. The promise of the result is essentially the overarching thing you're giving people. So in relationships, it's like, I'm going to find you your next wife or next husband. In fitness is, I'm going to help you build, 10 pounds of muscle in 90 days. Whatever it is, that's the promise you're giving people. As you can tell, the promise is almost always very much simple. It's generic because it's just the promise that you're giving people. It doesn't have to be anything super elaborate. It's just what you know how to do so well that anyone that comes in contact with you can actually just get the thing that you're giving them, almost by osmosis sort of thing. So this is where you have your different offers in the 4 big markets. So you have health, wealth, relationships, and self-development. So whatever it is that promise that you're giving people in any of these markets. So if it's in health, it's improving maybe cholesterol levels or more muscle or fat loss. In wealth is make money online, for example, which is essentially, like it or not, that's what all the coaches are in. So because I coach other coaches, I know how that sounds. It sounds horrible. Well, whatever. But if I'm helping other coaches make more money, I'm in the wealth space. I'm help coaches make more money. And that's literally what I have on my Instagram. That's just how it is. In relationships, just like I said, it's any offer that you help other people improve their relationship in. To the relationship with themselves, with others. I had a client that was helping people in Catholic marriages save their marriage. So that's relationship. And then self-development could be, life coaching, could be a lot of different things. And yes, you can mix and match, whatever. But essentially, out of these 4 markets, that's where you have your big promise. Okay, let's take fitness, for example, because that's the easiest one. I think everyone knows fitness at this level. So let's say you're helping men over 30 who are entrepreneurs improve their performance. That could be all types of performance. All guys over 30 for some reason are running marathons, doing high rocks, whatever. So that could be a good offer. Men over 30 with human performance. You're essentially helping them build muscle, look jacked, be more masculine. That's what you're giving people. It's way harder to sell that offer if you don't embody that offer. That's the first thing. I'm not saying you have to be this specific guy, but it's gonna be much easier to sell it if you are the embodiment of the offer that you're trying to sell. Obviously, it's harder to be a female and sell that offer because people are not gonna connect with you. So not only you have to be good at what you do, that's the prerequisite, you have to do it. A really nice must-have, like a really nice one, is you actually being truthful of the actual offer that you're giving people. These 3 things are what I tell my clients your philosophy branches. So there is a specific philosophy, a way of teaching things, a way that you got this result or a way you teach this result. That's your unique philosophy on how you actually teach people or how to get said result. This is how you live and breathe. This is why when you have ridiculous guys saying that carnivore is the way you do whatever, or ketogenic diet, or Atkins diet, or you have the Brian Johnsons on longevity, like that's their philosophy. That's everything that they do is around their philosophy. So you have a specific philosophy, and if you much dissect your philosophy of how you give people the offer, you're going to have 3 different pillars. So taking this example of human performance of entrepreneur guys over 30, you have 3 different ways. Let's just say one of your branches or one of your pillars of your philosophy is obviously going to be training. Your other one is going to be more likely nutrition, because every fitness offer is training and nutrition. And let's just say this other one is going to be recovery. Usually most people in fitness do like mindset or some woo shit, whatever. And again, on purpose, these look generic, because what's going to make this different from you and everyone else is your specific, again, philosophy on training, your specific philosophy on nutrition, your specific philosophy on recovery. Now, this is where you get to have fun. On training, you're going to have a unique mechanism, Same with nutrition. For example, in training, let's just say because these entrepreneurs are busy guys, etc., you do something called minimalistic training system. You're going to show this on content, on email, on stories, everywhere. That's how you train, that's how you embody, because you are literally the aspirational subject of what clients and prospects look up to. And all this makes sense because if you embody all of this, if you speak about all of this, if you have unique philosophy on obtaining a certain result, you have different ways, you have different vehicles that all go to the main offer, which is the main promise, which is this. If you have different ways of getting there, and this is how you live, this is how you live and breathe, this is your philosophy, this is how everything you speak about, you ultimately embody the entire offer, and it's just much easier to sell the thing because you're not some generic guy trying to help you lose fat. Is you actually have a proven method that guarantees that people actually get this result. So again, with training, you have a unique mechanism. Let's just say it's your minimalistic training system. Something stupid. Let's just say multi-food intake system, where you teach people how they can eat anything you want and they can get results. Essentially, this is like a if it fit my macros sort of thing, but you name it differently. You showcase in your content, you showcase in your client results, you showcase all this, how you eat everything you want in moderation, you eat whole foods, but you also indulge in chocolate and all the things, but you again embody, this is your philosophy, like you actually have to believe what you're talking about. If you're doing something and you don't really believe that which you're speaking of, people are going to call you out and it's going to smell like scam. You don't want that. If you're charging something high ticket, you have to believe what you're talking about. You have to believe the things that you're teaching. This is why it's so important to embody and actually live the philosophy that you speak about. Now for recovery, let's just do maximal recovery protocol, whatever it is, MRP. You embody this. You have different ways of getting there. Now this is where it gets really tricky, so pay attention. I'm going to try and be very quick. For the training portion of it, you're going to have at least 3 ways that make this undeniable. But what that means is essentially you have a way to track, you have a way to show your results, and you have a way that's repeatable. And it's going to be the same across your different pillars. So now essentially what you have is one core result, which is going to be the over 30 human performance entrepreneur guys, whatever. You have 3 unique ways that once done successfully, the training, the nutrition, and the recovery, you're giving them the result. So you have a proven way of getting men over 30, whatever, the entrepreneurs to become fit and whatever. You can do this with relationships as well. You can do this with anything. You want to have a core result that the market really wants and really needs, and you have to have a unique way that you embody, that you fully believe in, that it's your full philosophy, that once done, repeatable over time. Anyone that goes through your process, through your offer, through your philosophy will get this result. And then internally, so this is external, this is what you show people. Internally, you have to have ways in which you track if your clients are doing number 1, number 2, or number 3. And you do this via intake forms, tracking, etc., however you want to do it. Zooming out, again, this is how it looks. You have a big promise, and I'll tell you what this there is. You have 3 vehicles that once they're done together, they lead to the result. And these 3 ultimately become the pillars of your content. So you speak about recovery, you speak about nutrition, you speak about training, and you embody those pillars. You actually show your philosophy behind what makes your training philosophy different, your nutrition different, your recovery different. Again, if we want to talk about relationships, the 3 pillars are going to be your looks, your grooming, and your communication. Again, it's the same thing. So whatever the relationship advice you're giving here, you're going to want to embody what your ideal client wants, the aspiration of what your ideal client wants, because you're embodying the offer. That's the best way to sell it. Again, let's just say it's finance. You have 3 different ways. Maybe you have save and invest. Maybe you have automatic spending trackers, and then you have dream budget, whatever. You have to embody all of those as well. It's the same concept. You have one big promise that you are really good at getting people. That's the most important. And then what has been your philosophy through life of getting people those results? And if you really just think about it, there's usually always 3 or 4 ways that you always get your clients to get results. And that's how you have to reverse engineer. The reason why you need to have this in order to sell a high ticket coaching offer is because it makes it undeniable. And it makes it so that you've been doing this for a while. You have a proven way, a proven system with 3 different pillars that you embody in your content, your communication, that you always speak about these things. But the most important part of all of it is the one arrow that feeds into your promise. And this one essentially is the embodying. You have to embody your offer. You have to be the biggest walking poster for your offer in everywhere you go. Your content is your business card. The way you speak, the way you show yourself. The embodiment of your offer is ultimately what's going to give you that conviction to speak about the things you've done for others or for yourself so well and so many times that you have a process that you take anyone in, that once they complete those specific pillars, they essentially will always get that result and that promise that you speak so much of. This is essentially the condensed way of how to have an offer that you can easily just sell for 10K. And like I said in the beginning, I have my clients selling 8K offers just like this in the DMs because they embody exactly what their customers want to become. They embody the exact results their customers want. And it's so clear and it's so obvious that if anyone wants the results my clients have, they have to be in proximity to them. How they do that is with their offer and the way they feel that they want to be next to them. They want to be in that journey of transformation with them is because my clients, and hopefully you after watching this video, is that you have these 3 things so clear everywhere in your content, and it's so different, it's so cool, and you believe so much into it that anytime you speak about this stuff, people just connect with you in such a deep level that once you speak with them, you can charge high ticket for it. All of this is just one portion of making sure your coaching offer scales predictable. Not only having an offer that's really good, but you also have to be extremely good in the other part that I talked about, which is the fulfillment aspect of it. So not only is the fulfillment part of it, it's super important, like I believe the most important part of it, because you have to make sure you give your client results, but it's also how exactly and specifically do you do content? How specifically do you sell people into your amazing program and your newly refined offer? It's not just by posting content, but how do you manage conversations? How do you manage a sales team? If you want to have a sales team, how do you actually sell in the end? How do you make sure you have an entire system around this so that you can work on your business and to grow it and not so much in the business? So if that sounds like something that you want to learn more about, then just click the video that's on the screen right now, because that's exactly how I break everything down for all my clients, so they have everything they need for generating more attention and more leads, converting those leads, and creating a system so that they can fulfill and get more clients, more testimonials, more case studies, and more referrals. So click that. I'll see you on the next one.